Welcome. We're back. Guys, another live stream here from the SamCart headquarters. I am Scott Moran, the co-founder here at SamCart, and alongside Jordan P. Anderson, video production extraordinaire. Jordan, what's going on?
Not much. We had a technical difficulty, but
a nice,
we're back.
very fun technical difficulty. We are back. We are live. We are here, ready to talk about today's topic. Jordan, give them like the lowdown of today's topic: selling the sawdust.
Selling the sawdust. Today we'll go over it. We got a whole little presentation ready to go, but today selling the sawdust is basically about. I have my main course, but I know there's some other things laying around. I know I've got some files. I got some templates. Can I sell those as well? Can I add on to those? Can I make it a bigger package, a bigger offering to increase my profits? That is today's topic. Can we do it? Can we achieve it, Scott?
Can we do it? Can we achieve it? The answer is, of course, yes. But basically, yeah, I mean, today we're going to talk to you guys about something that I am crazy passionate about. And the correlation between people and businesses who do what we're talking about today correctly, right? And businesses that make 7 and 8 figures in sales is extremely high, right? The kind of stuff we're talking about here today is how can I give my customers more stuff to purchase? How can I give them more than just don't let someone buy one thing, right, and walk away? If you currently right now, right, and this is a metaphor that we got from Maurice Bowman, is an awesome stud of a business owner that we actually had on a couple weeks ago, right? But if you are currently treating your business like a lemonade stand, okay, where someone can come to you, buy one thing, and then walk away, and that's all they get. You have lemonade for them. Here's your $1 lemonade stand kind of thing, and that's it. They're gonna take the lemonade, buy your one thing, and they're gonna walk away. Then you are artificially capping how big your business can even get. And so today we are going to talk about how do you remedy that? How do you open up whole new ideas and whole new sources of profit that you never had before? And that's exactly what selling the sawdust really is. So, Jordan, any housekeeping things, anything we need to rock out before we dive in?
Big promotions that we're going to definitely talk about. We're doing some huge SamCart promotion stuff right now. Of course, if you're watching this and you want to get more of this kind of good business advice, subscribe to SamCart here on YouTube. But I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to dive in. We got to get this video engagement up. We got to get the crowd going. We got to go.
Let's go, baby. No, so anybody who hasn't seen right now, we have a very, very big thing going on this week. We just had a live demo release yesterday about sort of our coolest, newest, hottest thing going on. Course cross sales is a very, very big thing inside of the SamCart Courses app. If you guys want to check that out, go to samcart.com/coming soon. Okay, so samcart.com/coming soon. Come check that out if you want to see the latest and greatest things that are coming out of our production here. But with that, Jordan, slide me. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Maximize it up here. Selling the sawdust. Okay, so we not everyone might exactly know what selling the sawdust means. Scott, briefly.
I'll break it down. Yeah, let's break it down. So, this idea is old, right? It's not, certainly doesn't come from this, but there's an awesome book out there by the guys who created 37 Signals, the creators of Basecamp, the creators of I'm totally blanking on the other ones.
Basically, hey.com. I'm a big
hey.com. They created, anyway, a couple other kind of things. Anyway, but they have a book called oh my gosh, now Rework is the name of the book.
Yep.
I've read that book like 18 times.
Yep.
The book is called Rework. And basically their idea was, hey, listen, we created a software company, right? But the knowledge of creating a product and taking this thing to market and growing it, right, gave them a whole bunch of other knowledge. So what did they do? They wrote a book about it. Okay. And selling that was sort of like selling the sawdust. As you are in production of creating whatever it is that you create, the sawdust, the byproducts, the breadcrumbs that fall off of that process are themselves worthy of being collected and sold. Okay. And so that's what we're here to talk about, right? What are the byproducts of what you're currently doing every single day? And how can you collect those and turn them into things that you can sell and earn more profit from, right? Help your customers buy more stuff as they're sort of interacting with your business and sell your sawdust, right? That's kind of the concept. That's what we're trying to hit home on here.
And sawdust being the metaphor that as carpenters, we make sawdust and we say, hey, this is useless. This is not valuable at all. Who would buy the sawdust? They want the
trap. Yeah.
All right. Let's prompt them. Let's get into this might be a little bit nerdy. This might be a little business 301 for you, but zero marginal cost. You want to speak to that a little bit, or kind of the
marginal cost? Yeah. I mean, this is basically the idea that, listen, some people think there's a lot of sunk costs in creating my first course or creating my first book or rolling a service or something out there, right? Right. It's going to cost you something, whether it's time or whether there is actually hard investment, like money or whatever kind of going into something, right? But when you are putting that time in to go create one thing, creating 3 or 4 more things is not the same investment times 4, right? It's usually the same investment and maybe very, very small extra investments on top of that, if anything, right? Like I'll give you an example. When we created our very first sort of like course in the baseball training world, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, right? We went and created one of our very, very first things was called instant hitting drills, right? And we went and just shot some videos and kind of did this whole thing, right? And basically the cost and time investment of creating that first thing, by the time we were done creating our first product, we had enough stuff sitting around, byproducts and videos we didn't use and things we'd type out, just like descriptions of different whatever kind of stuff, right? That we were able to create 2 more different things that we could then turn around and go sell. And so the idea is, listen, it doesn't cost you more to create 5 things as it does to create one. It's basically zero marginal cost. Stretching from creating one thing to creating 2, 3, 4 is either very, very, very small extra added costs or basically no cost at all.
Yeah, this is something like our product sellers are very familiar with. If you want to make one product, it costs X amount of cost. But if you want to make 2 products or 3 products, those costs keep scaling. But if you say, hey, I want to sell 1 course or I want to sell 2 courses or I want to sell to 10 customers, it's basically the same amount of cost as it was for the first one.
Which is good news to all of us. So basically what I'm saying is I'm encouraging absolutely everybody who watches this video, right? The idea here is that I want you guys to think about, okay, I don't just want to create one thing. How can I create 5? Okay, and we'll get into some of the math about like why having 5 things to buy is better than having one thing to buy. But the idea is it's not that much more expensive. It's not that much harder. And I can guarantee you that almost every single person watching this right now, right, has the ability and has things just sitting around right now, okay, that could be turned into more stuff for you to sell to your customers.
All right, so let's give everyone today's agenda. Today, we're going to first cover the Alone in the Woods method. We're going to talk about creating profitable tidbits, how to break apart your massive course. Maybe you're like me and you made the encyclopedia course, the 25-part master course. And
one of the 7 deadly sins of course creation.
We've done it. So how do you dig yourself out of that? And then finally, fighting perfectionism. And then, of course, we're going to show you guys
also
some
one of the 7 deadly sins of course creation. Yeah.
Another one. And if we have time, we'll talk about promotion and maybe even do a SamCart demo. We might even hop into SamCart. Never know.
You get there. Let's see what we got.
Okay, so I love this show, Alone. It's on Netflix now. I think it's on.
Yes, in the chat box if you've watched this show, by the way. Like,
have you guys watched this?
Like, go down and say like, yeah, I have. I freaking love Alone. Jordan asked me. I had never seen this show before. I have no idea what it is.
So it's
Jordan, explain.
It's what you wish Survivor was. It's because it's like it's Survivor Man. If you remember that show from way back, he was just by himself, just with a camera. These folks are truly alone in the woods, and the game is whoever can survive the longest wins. And they're just barely getting by the entire time. But then one day, they actually, there are some key players here. And if you find, and I won't get too gross with the details, but if you find like an elk or something, or if you run into a caribou, like you're living like it's, and just take this metaphor, write it into your business. But like if you get the elk, you're living so high, but you don't want that to go to waste. You don't just want to eat the caribou meat. You want to take it and take the fur and make a coat out of it. You want to really expand it and really like nothing. Basically, when you're out in the woods and you're by yourself, the Alone in the Woods, I'll put it right here. Nothing can go to waste. You can't let anything go to waste. It all has to be used. So if you're making your course, you don't just make your course and say, I'm just going to make videos and sell videos and that's it, because there's so many other things that you're just leaving behind that are going to go to waste that you could be using and profiting and not just surviving, but thriving. So that's
one of my very favorite things. Yeah, I love that example, right? But like everybody here who has their own laptop or has a computer, you know what I mean? Like most people who are watching this, you probably have some sort of, something out there, right? But there is stuff sitting on your hard drive right now, okay, that you could package up and sell and turn into more profit, right? There are things that you can do out there that would all of a sudden start helping your customers. Instead of just spending like $50, right? They're going to spend $75 because you have something else sitting out there. And that's exactly what I want to help you guys understand is stuff that is currently right now collecting digital dust, right? How can we turn that back around and cash in on it, right? In a major, major way, because businesses who go from having one thing to sell to having 5 things to sell, or even just 1 to 2, right? You could literally multiply the size of your business by having more than one thing to sell, getting away from that lemonade stand type thing, right? And having something else to sell. But Jordan, back to the slides. Let's keep rolling.
So yeah, like you're just saying, like you could just be sitting on a gold mine. I mean, if you
Absolutely.
like, I want for this video, I want you guys to kind of start to think or like look in the mirror, look at what you have now, look at the assets, the courses, the lessons, the services, products that you're selling right now. What could you be doing differently? What can you break apart? You know, we have this questions like this, like could your course be shorter? Could you make a mini course out of this? Uh,
Absolutely.
what is the basic version of your service? Maybe you're offering, maybe you're a designer and you're creating a full out logo brand design. Could you make it smaller? Could you offer a, you know, the basic package and the premium package at the same time? And then this, I get in trouble with this, but you know, can you convert formats? Can you go from the video course into the audio book, or can you go to the video course into the ebook or the print book?
Let me speak to that one for a second, right? Because this is one of the most successful things that we ever did on our own. Back when we had our Facebook marketing brand, right? And we were selling Facebook marketing training because we got really good at Facebook ads way back in the day and, all that kind of stuff. But this was, really in its heyday from like 2012 to maybe 2016, 2017, right? And then, of course, SamCart took over our lives and all that jazz. So, but what we did was we offered another medium, right? We were selling a ebook, a digital book, you know what I mean? One of the main things that we sold for the longest time was called the Double Your List Report. And it was all about how to use Facebook and fan pages to sort of double your list. You're going to grow this list of followers and a list of email subscribers, right? And that was it. And so all we did was sit down and record an audiobook, right? And give a different version of, we had like a PDF, but then we also offered like a Word document and, we had some different mediums to deliver this whole thing, right? So now all of a sudden you could listen to it, you could watch it on a video. We recorded videos to go with it too, right? You had a PDF you could read on your phone or on an iPad or something like that, right? But that was the whole idea. So we sold the Double Your List Report. We sold it for like $18 or $17, something like that. And then we sold the additional mediums in it for like another 10 or 15 or something like that, right? So this was low stuff, right? But this was like relatively inexpensive stuff. But our take rate was enormous. It was like 40% of people were willingly raising their hand and saying, I would love to spend more and grab those other mediums. And we would go on to do the same thing over and over and over again. We would sell our Facebook Ads Academy course, which was wildly popular, for $400. And then what do? We sold other mediums of that course, right? And the same thing. We're giving you a video version, but hey, listen, we're gonna take all the audio files and put them in, like a podcast series kind of thing. You can download on your phone and listen. You could read through PDFs. We transcribe stuff and just, you go to rev.com, R-E-V. Might be revv.com. I'm not sure, but rev.com is a place you can give them a video and they'll transcribe it and give you a transcription of whatever it is that you might have created. And all of a sudden we had something else to sell. And that Facebook Ads Academy course, we'd sell it for $400 and the additional mediums was like another $50, right? And it was crazy. It was like 40 to 45% of people would willingly spend extra money. And those numbers add up in a major, major way and can do humongous things for your guys' profit. So just that one example of the 3 Jordan had, right, is something that can completely change the way that you're selling and completely change your bottom line, which is, of course, exactly what we are here to do for you guys.
And it almost feels, Scott, doesn't it almost feel like you're cheating at this? Like where you're like,
100%. You are cheating.
I shouldn't be selling this.
Cheat. You know what I mean? Like, it's not cheat. Like, that's the best part. It's not really cheating, but you're just taking advantage of like some very basic human behavioral stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm interested in buying this thing. Hey, would you like to buy a little bit more of it? Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? And that's the metaphor. We go back to that lemonade stand example, the lemonade metaphor, that if you're currently treating your business like a lemonade stand, in that I have one thing for someone to buy, and if they buy that thing, that's all I got. I'm all out. What if they want to spend more money, right? Let people spend more money and they will, and it'll change your business forever when you make it happen.
Absolutely. Okay, so we talked about this, digging yourself out. So you're a huge advocate of, especially in the courses creation challenge, talk about the man overboard challenge. That you should just come in with one idea, try to solve one small to medium sized problem. Not try to. This is not an entire. You're not earning a degree in this online course. So
right.
I've made the mistake of, or maybe customers out there have made, SamCart users have made mistakes out there that they've made too big of a course. I have a 25 lesson course. It's 20 hours long. And I have to charge more. I think I have to charge like $200 for this, $1,000 for this.
Right.
I'm trying to justify the cost. What do I do? How do I dig myself out of this? What are some options that I have?
I think the best thing, if anyone is sitting here right now thinking that's you, okay, I have created this behemoth, okay, and my only real option is to sell this for a price point that's so high that I'm only going to get a few customers in the door anyway, right? The best thing I can have you do is take one piece out and sell that by itself. You know, we had Brittany and Thomas Bruce on not too long ago, right? Here on the YouTube channel. So anybody, by the way, if you're watching this over on Facebook, come subscribe to the SamCart YouTube channel. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, go join our SamCart customer Facebook group. Just cross-pollinate these things. They should absolutely, both of you should be in both locations. But we had Brittany and Thomas Bruce on not too long ago, and they created this whole big behemoth for photographers, right? And what did they do? They took out one very specific piece, right, and sold that by itself. And it was about like lighting and finding like good like scenes, you know what I mean? Like to go scouting.
Posing. It was posing guides.
They had two, right? So they had one that was lighting, whatever, and they had another one that was literally just about posing. So they kind of did it multiple times, right?
I don't know why I did this for posing, but you know.
And there you go. I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea.
I need a guide.
It's the coolest thing, right? They basically take one piece of this massive thing out and sell that by itself for like $10, $20, okay? $30, whatever, something cheap. And then what you do, right, is you let SamCart do what it does best. Now all of a sudden you can start, you know, everybody who comes in and buys this much easier, bite-sized, smaller thing to say yes to, right? What do? You give them an option to go buy the bigger and badder stuff right after that, right? Right when they're in that mode and that buying mode, and trust me, they will. You will end up selling more of your big, humongous, you know, behemoth course just because you gave people some smaller kind of bite-sized thing. And so Jordan is doing a great job of sort of showcasing that, right? Let's say you have something that's $100 and that's your big behemoth course. Go pull out one small aspect of it, right? And sell that for $30, right? And sell that for $30, sell it for $50, sell it, you know, for whatever, right? And then give your customers the option to then go buy other stuff after the fact. Again, SamCart, big plug for SamCart. That's really what we do best. We do that better than absolutely anybody else online, is helping your customers buy more stuff in there. And that's exactly the biggest reason we just released our course cross-sells feature. So, you know, the course cross-sells thing is a very, very exciting new feature. This is Jordan's going to go ahead and bring it up. And so basically, we just released a brand new demo. You guys can go check it out at samcart.com/coming-soon. But you guys can go see how we just released a brand new feature right inside of the new SamCart Courses app, which you guys remember from just a little bit ago, where you can show your students other stuff that you sell, other services, other courses, other books, other downloads, other memberships, anything, right? And let them buy it using their credit card on file with just like one little simple verification, okay? And you do this kind of stuff. This is how you're going to turn one sale, one $100 customer into a $500 customer. Is you give them other stuff to go buy, okay? You do that. If you have a big behemoth of a course, pull out something very specific, pull out one thing, okay? And just sell that by itself. And then let SamCart kind of sell your other stuff for you in really intelligent, sharp ways. And you are going to, I'm not kidding. This is how we went from a couple $100 a month, $300-400 a month in sales to $10,000 a month and beyond in our very first brand, right? And all we do all day, every day is just repeat that same process. All I do all day, every day is help SamCart customers repeat that same process, okay? Take your big behemoth of a course, pull one thing out, sell that on its own, make it cheap, make it easy to say yes to, and then you will get bigger, more customers, right? Having more paying customers in the door means your business is going to explode.
And taking Brittany Bruce's example, she took, you know, if you're on SamCart, you can take a template, duplicate the page, duplicate the template, and then all she did was just record. You don't have to make a big, huge sales pitch. She made 1-minute videos, just explaining.
1-minute video. Pulled out her phone, had 1-minute video. Hey guys, this is why the posing and lighting kit is perfect for you. You know, if you've ever struggled with XYZ, click down below. It's $20. Go buy it, right? Yep. And that's it. That video went on the sales page. At the bottom of the sales page, she was selling people into her big behemoth of a course, and more people were buying her big behemoth, you know, main event course or main event offer there, right, than ever before, because she did exactly what we're talking about right here.
All right, Scott, we got to talk about, so we're talking about the technique here. Let's go into the mindset now of perfectionism.
Ugh, makes my spine shiver.
All right, so how do we overcome this? Because there are going to be some negative thoughts about all this. Like, okay, yeah, it's easy for you to say, you just take your video
You
course.
say big software guy, like, yeah, for sure. I understand. Like we are, SamCart is at a place now where we're helping 22,000 businesses every single day. And so, I get it. We seem bigger and more down the road, and it's easy for you guys. We have a team of people to make our stuff look really nice and clean. You know what I mean? That's a thing. But for years, right, I ran my own business. Me and Brian ran our own thing, and I'm telling you, perfectionism is the only thing that can truly stop like a motivated creator from creating something that works. You know what I mean? Like perfectionism and the refusal to sort of accept the idea that maybe something you put out might not be 100% perfect to everybody that looks at it. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that can stop you essentially at this point from bringing your idea to life and finding customers and getting sales and changing things, right? Perfectionism is a joke. It is a cruel, cruel, sick joke. Okay. Nothing is ever perfect. Everything can always be changed later on. You know what I mean? My whole job is essentially predicated on the idea that nothing that I put out there is perfect. But you put it out there, you receive the feedback, you make changes as you need to, and you keep moving. And that process never, ever, ever slows down. Done is better than perfect. Okay. Done is better than perfect. And never, ever, ever forget that. But let's go ahead. Let's go to
All
the
right,
next.
yeah. React to some of these thoughts. The idea that this can't be worth that much, or I could be doing so much more. We tell you, hey, take your master course and break it into a mini course, and you go, but this mini course isn't complete enough, or this mini course isn't. I'm not teaching enough in this. What do you kind of react to that?
Ask your students, ask your audience before you make that kind of assumption. That is dangerous assumptions. You know what I mean? I have sold a lot of different things in my lifetime, right? And there have been some things that I assumed were awesome values and everybody would love that everybody hated. And they were kind of like, I don't really like this. And the cancellation rate was high and that kind of stuff, right? And then there's these things that are just like small and insignificant, but just strike the right chord because they solve the right problem. You know what I mean? And so, do not make those kind of assumptions. You guys need to be putting things out there constantly and then let your audience tell you, hey, you know what? This really kind of missed the mark. I'm not that excited about this. Cool. Let me pull it off, take it away. You know what I mean? Make some changes, bring it back, and let your audience tell you that.
And again, I think it's kind of in the same thought pattern. Like this feels incomplete, or it's amazing. People actually do want the 5-minute version. They want the can I learn all the tips you're about to teach me in this 10-hour course? Can I learn it in 5 minutes? And they'll pay for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody reads the encyclopedia cover to cover. You know what I mean? Like everybody's going to come at you with a different need. And the trap is thinking and assuming that, listen, I need to make one thing that's awesome and encompasses all the information about this topic that I could possibly fit in there, right? Because that's what someone wants. They're going to want all the information. No, they really don't. They want to solve their problem, right? To take it back to like the photography example, you know what I mean? Like, hey, listen, here's the complete guide to photography, right? Or if you're like, you're a photographer, you're going to say, hey, listen, here's how to make your lighting perfect in every single shot, indoors or outdoors, right? Like what is going to grab someone's attention more? What are they going to think is really, truly made for them is the small thing that talks to a really specific problem that only photographers would feel. You know what I mean? It's impossible when you write the encyclopedia of a topic, right? Or I'm going to offer this entire huge big thing and it's got all the information in there. It's so hard to really grab someone's attention and to say in the encyclopedic version of it, right? To speak to a specific problem. Hey, it solves all your problems. Well, that's not what people look for. What happens? Like, think about it yourself. When you go to search for a product or buy something online, you know what I mean? You know what you're typing in. You're just looking for like one kind of specific need or one specific question, the answer to one kind of specific thing. No one goes and types in like baseball and then searches through like endless, pages of Google to try and find like, I'm trying to like, how do I fix my swing, against a curveball or something like that, right? You're looking for something really, really specific. So create offers and create like, introductory stepping stones into your world, right? That have really specific, outcomes that you want to achieve for someone. Because I'm telling you, no one really wants the full, burrito essentially, right? You know what I mean? Like that's not what people are looking for. They'll take that from you after. You know what I mean? If someone buys something from you and they buy one of these kind of specific intro product type stuff and it's $10, it's something cheap, and you do right by them and they're excited, they'll come back and buy whatever else you got, right? But it's that first interaction. You just want to get more people to have that successful first interaction with you. And I'm telling you, you're going to do that better by throwing really specific problem-solving type things at them.
Scott, I'll speak to the trying to offer the master course, the all encompassing. It could be a little bit of an ego check because you're trying to at the same time like flex how much I know.
Of
Look,
course.
look,
Absolutely.
look how
Yeah.
much of an expert I am. I know
100%.
I can teach 30 lessons. Look how much of a badass I am. But
Exactly.
that's not what customers are looking for. They're looking for you.
Yeah, your customers don't give two flips essentially, right, about how much you know and how, like the wealth of knowledge you've accumulated, you know what I mean? They want to know that you can solve their problem. It's relevant that you're an expert. It's relevant that you know something they don't. That's great. You know what I mean? But all they really care about is, can you solve their problem right here, right now? And that is the only thing that matters.
All right, let's do some business examples, some business ideas, just to get your brain churning. Because I want you guys to kind of see. We're trying to grant you this superpower that you can like look at your business and start to that X-ray vision. I can see the parts inside. So we've got a lot of baseball players actually on SamCart. It's actually part like 90% of our users.
90%. Yep.
Scott,
Absolutely. That's a real stat.
tell us a little bit about baseball users on the SamCart platform.
So this is Train Baseball. Okay. So Train Baseball is the very first thing that Brian and I created coming out of college, right? So Brian was a few years older than me. He started, he was a college All-American baseball player, which anybody here in the States is a very, very, very big thing. I was an okay college baseball player, right? But we started this thing for baseball players and coaches, right? And so, like I said before, we created, one of the very first things we created was this how to hit in baseball, right? And it was this big, enormous thing. And that was not it. That was absolutely 100% not what people wanted from us. What they did end up wanting from us is we started getting more specific, right? With what we were trying to sell them. The very first thing that sort of succeeded and we started being able to sell was we called it the 10-step hitting system. Okay. And it was an ebook. It was a 27-page ebook that we sold for like, $20, $30. It was very inexpensive kind of thing, right? But it was really specific. And it was like, listen, here are 10 steps, right, to adding more power to your swing in baseball. And that's not everything you need to know about hitting and base running and this and that and adding power and working on the gym and, all this kind of stuff. It was really, really specific. This is what you need to do before a game, right, to get your mind right and to be able to step in there and add more power to your swing specifically, right? And so, we broke that out. And as we were creating that, okay, it gave us the ideas for creating all kinds of other stuff. We had hitting charts that we'd used our whole lives. We had pitch recognition charts. We had we went and created a whole thing about hitting with 2 strikes. It's like this really specific piece that we pulled out and started selling that by itself. And all of a sudden we have all these things available for sale. So we would then turn around. Then, in the next year or whatever, we were selling the 10-step hitting system, and you could add all this other stuff to your order. And we'd take like a $20 order and turn it into like a $70 customer because they would add in two strike hitting. They'd add in, the personalized hitting charts, and we'd add in like, workout routines and all of this kind of stuff that was just the byproduct of us creating and writing and just, being there and being in the world, kind of like helping those customers.
Now let's talk about another example. We have our social media marketers. Again, you guys started a project called the Get 10,000 Fans.
Yeah. So Get 10,000 Fans was our Facebook marketing brand that ran for years and years. Is still, technically out there and makes some sales and stuff. But yeah, it's the same kind of deal. We ran Facebook ads. So what did that help us do? Well, it helped us understand how to talk about how to use Facebook ads, so we created content on that. We, would take our ads and we would go and put them into like a library where people could buy and look at, here's all of our best ads. We were constantly doing market research on other people's advertisements. So what do? We took screenshots and we put those all into, this ad library product that people could also buy from us. Because we were like all day, every day, reading and posting on our Facebook page and, doing all this kind of stuff. Then we created like a whole template script thing for, creating your own like social media content. And we sold that too. It's just, there's all this stuff that as you are running and creating your business, right? And as you are, executing on stuff for clients, if you run a web design service and people, come and pay $3,000 for you to build their website and put it up, think of all the other things that you're creating during that process that you could sell to someone else. You could have a web or like a website launch checklist that this is what I do for every single client, right? Sell it for $10 and sell it to absolutely everybody out there. And so many people would buy it, right? You could produce something that's like, hey, here are my 5 favorite plugins for websites for security and launching and making it easy to design and stuff like that. You could create design packages where you're taking all the graphics and resources you love creating and duplicating and sell that to people. There's so many different things in there. And I'll come back to this example for photography. We were talking to a guy named Matt Seuss a couple months ago, and Matt was a photographer, a wildlife photographer. And oh, this is such a great idea, right? So I was talking with him, and he was like, I had a bunch of these Adobe Lightroom presets that were sitting around on my computer that I love to use all the time. Well, what did he do? He took those, he brushed the digital dust off them, that was his term that he came up with, right? Things were just collecting dust on his hard drive. And he puts it together and he starts selling it on SamCart. And all of a sudden he's getting all these customers in the door. Those customers are buying up his bigger, more expensive kind of service. And he had like a monthly membership too, right? But if you're a photographer, sell your Photoshop project files. Sell your posing guides, sell your photo filters, sell a photo editing mini course. Like all of these things would come so naturally for you as you're just a photographer in your world, in your field, right? You are the sawdust from your business, right? What else do you know how to do that probably better than anybody? And you can turn around and sell those things in a snap, absolutely anytime whatsoever.
Yeah, Scott, this is where I think you should direct your expertise in a healthy way. Like rather than saying like, here's how much I know, people really want to know like, what are the experts using? What are they using in their day-to-day life? Like, do they have, I'm on Adobe Premiere all the time. Maybe folks want my Adobe Premiere template because like, oh, how does he edit like that? It's nice that they want to know how to do it. But if I can use Scott's cheat sheet or like Scott's Facebook ad formula,
right?
Like just give me that. That's
and I love this comment over on YouTube from Part-Time Adults, right? It's like I read about a defensive coordinator who made six figures just by selling defensive plays in PDF files. Yeah. What I mean? If you're a defensive coordinator on a football team, you probably have a notepad of thousands of plays that you've seen or you've worked with other coaches and stuff like that, offensively, defensively. Like take those things, turn them into a product and sell them. You know what I mean? Like there's absolutely that kind of stuff hiding all over the place in absolutely any business that someone could possibly, anybody watching this, you can follow this exact same lead. I guarantee you have stuff sitting around that is a byproduct of what you do anyway, that you could be turning around and selling and making money on.
And another example from music producers, if you're a musician, you definitely have your music stems, you have your beat kits. I'm a big fan of Kenny Beats, and the guy's selling his own beats and like how to starter kit, like how to build your own rap song. Just here, use these drum kits, use these synthesizers, and you can even sell things like stock music. There are so many musicians out there that have just randomly probably made a couple songs for fun that they don't want to sell commercially, but maybe if they took the lyrics out, they could sell it for stock music. Me as a film editor, I'm looking at stock music every single day, and that's, sell it for $1, sell it for $2, just little tiny things like that.
Love that. Yeah, 100%.
I brought this. I thought of it to expand a little bit. Consultants, maybe, you run like a digital agency, or you're kind of more on the service side. I don't know if you've ever. I like the Home Depot model. Instead of as a designer or as a consultant, we come in and we're going to do the work for you, client, and we're going to build the app, we're going to build the software, we're going to build the logo. Rather, maybe you don't want to pay for all that. You just do the Home Depot model. Like, you can do it, we can help.
Yep, love that. Yeah, big time. Guides and templates and pre-made documents. People who sell services, right? If you sell a service, seriously, like leave us a comment down below. Just say like, yeah, I sell services down below. But if you sell services, by definition, you will always have a very small number of customers willing to pay you big bucks. Even if your service is $1,000, right? Out of 100 people, you might get 2 or 3 people to pay you for $1,000 bucks. So you have all of these other people that have paid you nothing, right? But if you let them, you give them something to buy, you are going to start making more money selling, helpful little one-off things that you can sell to as many people as you want. That don't require your time or your energy, right? You could almost start making more money selling to the 98% than you do from your actual services. So take the things you do anyway for customers, right? And start selling those, right? That's what you go create a page on SamCart that sells, some.
Yeah. Give me the strategy guide. Give me the 2021 design trends of this year. Like,
big
time. You could monetize your yearly newsletter or like the letter to the investors. This is what this is what we're seeing in the world. That's working.
Love that.
And that's going to wrap it up. So Scott, we've got this going on. You want to talk a little bit about this?
SamCart.com/coming soon. Jordan, go back to the course cross-sell slide, actually. I think let's end with that one. If you guys want to see the newest stuff that has just hit SamCart this week, we literally have a brand new demo where you guys can go see. Remember the SamCart Courses app with this nice, awesome, lightweight way for you guys to deliver online courses, ebooks, digital downloads, and resource packs, all the stuff we're talking about here, even like run your monthly membership calls and stuff like that inside of this really nice, lightweight area inside of SamCart. Well, we have just brought what we do best, which is e-commerce, taking your sales, maximizing your profits, and we have brought it to the members area for the very first time. This feature you're looking at right here is called Course Cross Sells, and we just released it. It is literally going to be live in every single SamCart account. I shouldn't say every single account. It's going to be the SamCart Courses app is available to everybody. This is going to be available in SamCart Grow and above. But on Thursday, right? So if you are a SamCart Grow above customer, you're going to log in and have this feature right here where your students can see your other stuff, right? Click on it, verify their credit card, you know what I mean? And they will buy with their credit card and PayPal accounts on file. But if you want to see this demo live, this is a incredible, awesome new feature, okay? Go and check out samcart.com/coming-soon. It's going to be enormous. I mean, this is the biggest thing we have done all year. Very, very excited. SamCart customer or not, head over to samcart.com/coming soon and see this new feature. It is going to rock your pants and your socks and maybe even your shirt. I don't know, but it will rock most of your clothing. Yep.
Right on. Well, that's about it. I think that's going to wrap up today's live stream, folks. We are here. We got episodes coming out tomorrow. We've got One Page Wednesday tomorrow. You guys going to check it out here on? We're here on YouTube, right, Scott?
We will be live at 4:00 p.m. Eastern, 1:00 Pacific, and I think maybe it's like 1 a.m.
midnight Moscow time, Russia
time or something. Yeah, we'll figure out what time it is in Bangladesh. But we're going to be live for One Page Wednesday tomorrow, breaking down another course seller that we'll be able to check it out. It's going to be awesome. So very, very excited. Come back, join us again, 4:00 Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific tomorrow for One Page Wednesday.
Cool. Check you guys later.
Take it easy, guys.